6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Danishka Medawala and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. The National Transport Commission is authorized to take decisions pertaining to the charges of public transportation. Hospital medicine procurement to be digitized. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says the economic crisis can only be mitigated by following the IMF program. GC advanced level exams will commence tomorrow. Her early landslide warnings for several localities in 5 districts to be in effect until 3:30 p.m. today. News overseas: 5 dead on Coast Guard plane after Japan Airlines collision. In sports, Luke Littler beats Rob Cross to reach World Darts Championship final. And those are the headlines. The government has decided to give the National Transport Commission the authority to take decisions pertaining to the charges and fares levied for public transportation, including railways, three-wheeler and school transport services. Speaking at the Cabinet press briefing held yesterday, Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said the relevant documents have been sent to the Attorney General in order to amend the relevant act. Minister Gunawardena also emphasized that a cabinet paper was submitted informing to hand over the authority to make decisions regarding the fares charged in relation to the transport sector to the National Transport Commission. The minister added that this would result in the establishment of a more reasonable pricing policy. Replying a concern raised by a journalist, he further said that the government would strictly enforce the law against those who misuse the increase of VAT. Industry and Health Minister Dr. Ramesh Patirana yesterday said that the preparations are underway to digitize the procurement activities to enhance the transparency in the procurement of medicines for hospitals. Expert advice is being sought from the computer science departments of University of Colombo and the Moroto University. This digitization effort is expected to streamline future procurement activities, the minister said. Dr. Patirana said that the President Ranil Wickremesinghe has allocated the necessary funds in this year's budget to improve the quality control laboratory of NMRA. Structural changes in capacity and human resources are anticipated this year. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that the economy of Sri Lanka, which had been derailed after independence, was put back on the right track in 2023 by the government, including President Ranil Wickremesinghe, informing cabinet decisions at the cabinet press briefing yesterday. He said that 2024 is a very crucial year and the current economic challenge will last until 2027. He pointed out that the crisis can be mitigated by following the program of the International Monetary Fund till 2024. Minister also said that if the program of the IMF is not implemented, the life of the government will be limited to 2 weeks, regardless of who governs or who the president is. He said that the country's economy cannot run for a day without an agreement made with the IMF, the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank and the creditors. Dr. Gunawardena also said that even if a country go to the international financial market and issue sovereign bonds under the world standard rules, the financial discipline, the maximum loan amount that can be obtained in 2027 is only $1,500 million. The GC Advanced Level Exam commences tomorrow, January 3rd, across January 4th rather, across the 2,258 centres island-wide. Over 346,000 hopeful candidates, comprised of 281,445 school applicants and 65,531 private applicants, are gearing up to take the exam. However, due to the ongoing rain and flood situation, the examination department has implemented a minor rescheduling measure. Candidates originally scheduled to sit their exams at the Kakirawa Madatugama Revata Vidyalaya will now do so at the Galkirigama Madhya Mahavidyalaya. For those who have not received the application forms, the department urged applicants to download the application directly from the official website. The National Building and Research Organization yesterday issued early landslide warnings for several localities in 5 districts to be in effect until 3:30 p.m. today. Accordingly, a red alert was issued for Ududumbara Divisional Secretariat Division in Kandy district, and a second-level amber warning was issued for the following areas: Badula District, Lunugala and Passara Divisional Secretariat Divisions and surrounding areas, Monaragala District, Medakama Divisional Secretariat Division and surrounding areas. And that's local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatma.
Education Minister Dr. Susil Premchand says that it is planned to simplify the Grade 5 scholarship examination in future, since it is a great mental and physical burden to students. Minister Premchand said that in future the evaluation of students will not be limited only to examinations. He emphasized that several major changes are to be made in the existing education system from the coming year, and it is expected to make the Grade 5 scholarship exam simpler than the current exam. The Education Minister said that priority will be given to measure students' literacy and numeracy skills. And that came to you in Top News.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatma.
This is Watchlight.
Health Minister Dr. Ramesh Pathanan has ensured that the ministry is closely monitoring the emergence of the novel COVID-19 subvariant JN1 reported from India, while acknowledging that no cases have been reported from the sample tests conducted thus far. Pathanan urged the public to adhere to the health practices established during the previous waves of COVID-19. Furthermore, the minister announced that the preparations have been finalized for a vaccination program aimed at controlling the resurgence of the measles disease across the country.
Coming up, world news.
First, the headlines: 5 dead on Coast Guard plane after Japan Airlines collision. Hamas deputy leader Saleh al-Aruri killed in Beirut blast. Hong Kong mogul Jimmy Lai pleads not guilty to national security crimes. And those are the headlines in the world news. 5 people aboard a Japanese Coast Guard plane have died after their aircraft collided with a passenger plane at Tokyo's Haneda airport. The Coast Guard plane was due to deliver aid after a deadly earthquake hit central Japan on New Year's Day. All 379 passengers and a crew escaped the Japan Airlines passenger plane before it was engulfed in flames. Dramatic footage showed people fleeing the Airbus A350 on inflatable slides. Israel has insisted the assassination of Hamas leader in Beirut was not an attack on Lebanon, as its enemies warned of punishment for his death. Mark Regev, the Israeli spokesman, said Saleh al-Aruri died in a surgical strike against the Hamas leadership. Hamas condemned the death, while its ally Hezbollah said it was an assault on Lebanese sovereignty. Lebanon's Prime Minister, meanwhile, accused Israel of trying to drag Lebanon into confrontation. Lebanese media reported that Aruri, a deputy political leader of Hamas, was killed in a drone strike. Hong Kong pro-democracy media mogul Jimmy Lai has pleaded not guilty to sedition and collusion with foreign forces in a landmark security trial. Mr. Lai, 76, faces life imprisonment if convicted of threatening China's national security. His case has sparked an international outcry and is widely seen as a test of Hong Kong's judicial independence. And that's world news. In development news, the Sri Lankan Navy is slated to sign a memorandum of understanding with the National Nuclear Security Administration of the United States regarding the prevention of illegal transportation of nuclear and other radioactive materials. The proposal presented by President Ranil Wickremesinghe in his capacity as the Minister of Defence to sign the relevant MOU was approved by the Cabinet of Ministers at its meeting held on 1st January. And that was development news.
Moving on with sports news.
Luke Littler's sensational run at the PDC World Darts Championship continued as a 16-year-old beat Rob Cross to storm into final. Littler, playing in his first world tournament, won 6-2 and will face Luke Humphreys, who beat Scott Williams 6-0. Littler, who has now earned 200,000 sterling pounds, is the youngest person to reach the final. And that was sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න as වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Chinese company BYD sold more electric vehicles than Elon Musk's Tesla in the last 3 months of 2023 as the two battled for top spot in the sector. BYD said on Monday it had sold a record 526,000 battery-only vehicles in the final quarter of 2023. It marked the first quarter its battery-only sales have outplaced Tesla's. And that's business news.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න as වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
In economic news, Cabinet spokesman, Mass Media Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says that Cabinet approval has been granted to move forward with the proposed Sri Lanka-Thailand Free Trade Agreement. He was speaking at the weekly Cabinet media briefing held yesterday at the Government Information Department. The 9th round of negotiations on the proposed Sri Lanka-Thailand Free Trade Agreement was held in Colombo from December 18th, 2023 to December 20th, 2023. And that was economic news. Weather report. The Met Department says showery conditions in the eastern and Uwa provinces is expected to be reduced during today and the next 2 days. A few showers will occur in eastern province and in Matale district. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in the Sabrakamur, southern, western and Uwa provinces and in Kandy and Nuwara districts after 2 p.m. today. Fairly heavy showers above 50 millimeters are likely at some places in Gaul, Matra and Ratnapura districts. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in western, Sabrakamur and central provinces during the morning hours too. And that was the weather report. To wind up this news broadcast, let's look at the main points once again. The National Transport Commission is authorized to take decisions pertaining to the charges of public transportation. Hospital medicine procurement to be digitized. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says that the economic crisis can only be mitigated by following the IMF program. The GCE advanced level exam will commence tomorrow. Early landslide warnings for several localities in 5 districts to be in effect until 3:30 p.m. today. News overseas: 5 dead on Coast Guard plane after Japan Airlines collision. And in sports, Luke Littler beats Rob Cross to reach World Darts Championship final. And with that, we conclude this morning news podcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Back to Abhishek to keep you company with the rest of the programs this Wednesday morning.